Good morning, class!
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Mr.
Miss
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Okay, settle down, class, because we are now going to start our discussion. Today, we are going to dive into the world of subject-verb agreement. So, can anyone tell me what they think that means?
It is when a subject and a verb in a sentence match in number.
Exactly, Axel. Subject-verb agreement is crucial for clear and effective communication in writing. Now, let's begin. But before we formally start our discussion for today, class, let me tell you the objectives of our lesson. So, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to define subject-verb agreement, understand its importance in writing, and apply the rules accurately by writing a short story. So later, I will be going to ask you to do some tasks to measure if you have learned something.
I'll be using the laptop and projector presentation to show you the examples and explanations.
And you will have your notebooks and your pen to jot down some important points. So, are we all clear?
Okay,
Okay,
Miss.
Miss.
Okay, good. So now let's start with the basics. The subject of a sentence must agree with the verb in number. For example, the dog runs versus the dogs run. Can someone identify the subject and verb in each sentence and tell me what are they wrong, or what do you think is something wrong with this statement?
Miss, in the first one, dog is the subject and runs is the verb. In the second one, dogs is the subject and run is the verb.
Excellent. Now, always remember the rules of subject-verb agreement, class. The rules of subject-verb agreement states that a singular subject must agree with a singular verb, and a plural subject must agree with a plural verb. In other words, the form of the verb used in a sentence should match the number of the subject. For example, for the singular subject, it should be she runs every morning, while in the plural subject, it should be they run every morning. Now, I'll give you a subject and a verb, and I want you to make it as a sentence and identify whether the subject and the verb agrees or not. The verb is play and the subject is team. So, anyone who would like to answer?
The team play well together.
The subject team should be followed by the singular verb plays, so it should be the team plays well together.
Precisely, Jean. Now, let's move on to the importance of subject-verb agreement in writing. Does anyone have any ideas on how important subject-verb agreement is when it comes to writing?
Miss,
Yes, Mr. Neil? Any idea?
I think subject verb agreement is essential in writing because it ensures that sentences are grammatically correct and easy to understand. It helps readers follow the flow of ideas without confusion, making the writing more effective and professional.
Very good. Your idea is actually right. Now, I am going to give you some tasks to measure if you have learned something in my class today. Would that be okay? Okay, so you don't have any choices. Your task now is to write a short story using the correct subject-verb agreement. Remember, class, to apply what we have learned and what we have learned about singular and plural subject and singular and plural verbs. So, any questions or clarifications?
Miss, can we choose any topic for our story?
Yes, Daphne, you can choose any topic that interests you and make sure to focus on using proper subject verb agreement throughout your writing journey. Well done, everyone. Today, we've defined subject verb agreement, discussed its importance in writing, and practice applying the rules in our own stories. Keep up the great work and remember to always pay attention to subject verb agreement in your writing. So, before we formally end our discussion today, does anyone have any questions or any clarifications about our about anything that we have covered today?
No more questions, Ms. Rodriguez. We have already learned a lot of learning in today's discussion. Thank you so much, Miss.
All right, then that concludes our discussion for today, class. I hope you have learned a lot of lessons and you may now go home. Goodbye, everyone.